onomatopoeia. So this one's a little bit of a tongue twister. There's 6 syllables there. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. And one way I remember its meaning is to say it's a funny word for some funny words, because onomatopoeia is the term we use to describe words that were designed to be imitations of sounds. Like you think about, as people were originally coming up with words, and we actually still do this today. Look, we try to use the letters we have and the alphabet we have to imitate sounds that exist. Like in this example, it says, "In the distance, I heard the screech of tires and the bark of a startled dog as the wind whistled through the trees." Now we have a couple examples in there. Like the word screech, that's an example of onomatopoeia. Because, like, imagine in your head the sound a tire makes as someone's peeling out and speeding away. That, like, screech. We use those 7 letters, SCREECH, to imitate that sound. Like that's the closest we've kind of got in the English language to represent the sound that tires make as they peel out. The same thing with the word bark, whether it's bark or woof, we're trying to imitate the sound a dog makes. Now, if it's meow or buzz, or like there's a bunch of ones for animals, we all know. But those are still examples of onomatopoeia. We're trying to imitate a sound using the alphabet we have. Now, it's not just sound words, because if we look at something like whistled, the wind whistled through the trees, whistled, that is kind of describing a sound, but that's not actually the sound it makes. Like tires make a screeching sound. Wind doesn't actually say whistle, 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 whistle. Like that's not the sound it makes. So even though that's connected to sounds, it's not that every word connected to sound is onomatopoeia. Like the word yell or scream, they're not onomatopoeia because they're not actually trying to recreate a specific sound. If we look in this poem, Maine Yet Miami, by Richard Blanco, there's a couple examples in here. He writes, "The soft harp of snowful plucking through my pine trees lulls me to peace. Yet I still hear the bongo of thunderstorms rapping the rooftop of my queer childhood, dancing to the clouds' rage, raining away my sorrows. Though snow melts silently into the gurgles of my creek, my grandmother's voice remained frozen in my ears, still calling me a sissy, yet praising me as her best friend." The poem continues from there. It's a great poem, but I just want to highlight a couple examples of onomatopoeia in this first bit. If something pluck, like if you think of like if you pluck a string, we're trying to recreate that kind of like plucking sound. The same way that like rapping, of like to knock on something, like rap, 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 rap. Or if something gurgles, even like to gurgle, like as water goes down a drain. Those words are trying to recreate the sounds, to pluck, rap, or gurgle. They're trying to recreate or imitate a specific sound. In contrast to that, something like bongo, it's a musical instrument, and you can imagine what a bongo sounds like, but it's not actually imitating a sound. Those 3 examples, among the many out there in the world, examples of onomatopoeia.